It's probably going to be a little bit too cold. Hello and welcome. One, two, three, four. That's the time. 12:34. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Yvonne. Oh, it's a little bit cooler in here than I expected. I did not bring a shirt. Thought I turned it on. Oh, sorry. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just give everyone an opportunity to join per usual. I'm really feeling that today is really, there's already a lot of things happening on a cellular level. And I really feel like what's coming through per usual is supporting and assisting in that. I will speak into, of course, what's, just kind of what's happening on a cellular level, what's energetically, vibrationally moving through, at least through my awareness, and what seems to be also happening for others. And give a little bit more light to the notes that I dropped into Instagram. If you actually saw those and you're tuning in from Instagram, I transferred basically, it's just like automatic writing. I just start bringing through and letting consciousness speak for itself. And, instead of bringing in the analytical mind that wants to proofread everything and have a description and have a meaning for everything, that's the analytical mind. The analytical mind wants to know, well, why? Why is that? Why is that way? Why does it sound that way? Why does it look that way? Well, what if you said, that's the analytical mind. So when I channel notes, I don't channel from the analytical mind. Obviously, that wouldn't serve. So let me just switch that. All right. All right, so everyone should really start be dropping in by now. So I am going to start just going over and speaking into some things. Again, Yvonne, welcome. And for anyone else that is here from any of my groups or Instagram or Facebook, if you saw the post, welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here and I'm grateful that you're joining. So I don't know about you guys, but for the last few days, I've basically been in a cocoon, which of course for me, it's my monthly cycle, it's my moon cycle. So things are a little bit more reserved during that time for me. I've also, of course, been experiencing some really deep and very interesting revelations in regards to choices, choice points, having a deeper understanding of even, welcome, Ronald. Grateful you could make it. Deeper revelations into how our identity and our personality operates. Because for those of you that work with me directly, you know that's something that we're always reviewing. It's something that's literally, anytime anyone drops anything in for me, what gets mirrored back is, of course, if that identity or that personality is offering a very specific lens, it's going to come back through in the mirror. And what I've realized about this is something it's always been present. It's something that I've realized for a while now, but it's something that I'm not for sure if a lot of people give themselves permission to acknowledge and accept about themselves. Obviously, I would not be able to realize it if I myself had not stood in the position of this type of identity that I'm about to express. I can only know of it, I can only speak about it because I've existed in that expression and I've operated from that expression. But when we go into the spiritual community, we have a tendency to use the right lingo. We can say a lot of things, right? I mention it as someone, it's like someone reading from a book, right? Especially if you're taking in a lot of data, especially if you do read a lot of books, you have a tendency to regurgitate the knowledge, and there's not a distinguishing point between what you know and who you are. Actually, there is, it's your identity, but a lot of people don't realize that. Welcome, Mina. Grateful you could join, my dear. So what this means is that people will say all the right things and they'll talk about the things that are happening, but they really don't have a deeper understanding of what that actually means. So, we can talk about energies moving through. We can talk about energies. We can talk about what's happening in the chakras, but or talk about the chakras being active. But what does that mean? Like, you guys that have worked with me know, this is a question I'm going to ask. Okay, well, what does that mean then? If you're going to bring something to the surface, if you're going to speak about it, if you're going to talk about something being active or energies moving through, what does it mean? Because if you're just talking about it and you do not have a deeper revelation as to what it means in relation to you, then that's all you're doing is talking about it. You're reciting from a book that you've read a million times, but there's no depth, there's no wisdom, there's no anchor. So when you're embodied, you bring a different vibrational tone to your expression. You speak from a deep sense of sovereign authority that understands exactly what it's saying. It's not just throwing words out there so that it can appear to fit into the mix. It actually understands what it's saying. And so one of the biggest identity or points of identity manipulation in the spiritual community is a lot of times people talk from a place that they don't fully understand. My invitation to everyone is that when you go to speak about what's moving through, well, if something's moving through, it's moving through you. It's moving through your awareness. It's moving through you as an experience. So what is the experience? If not, you're just throwing words around and it really doesn't land. It doesn't have a place to land. And it's, again, you just become an encyclopedia of words. That's all. So my invitation is to have a deeper understanding of who you are in relation to the words that you speak. That's the all-knowing self. The know-it-all self knows it all, right? It knows it all. It can talk about anything. That's the analytical mind. It's analyzed it. It's like, yeah, I resonate with that. It's mine. I claim it, and it just throws it back out. That doesn't mean that it holds deeper spaces of embodiment or wisdom. So my invitation is to review when you speak what you're speaking about, understanding where it's coming from. And in relation to that, who are you? Who are you in relation to the knowledge that you speak? Because that's a big key factor. The identity likes to appear as knowing everything. The identity likes to appear as having everything under control, knowing exactly what it's talking about. And with what's happening right now, energetically, vibrationally, we have a lot of things that are coming to the surface. So this means that right now, the heart, the spleen, the pancreas are all very, very active. The lungs are very active. The spleen is, the pancreas is active because of the spleen, but it's majority the spleen. Now, I can say that, like, when I've had some things showing up for me, and I was asking for myself and even for Bruiser, my fur baby, like, okay, so where is the origin of this on a cellular level? And that's what I received. Now, for me, that means something specific, right? It is a physical experience, but it's also an energetic experience as well, which means that there's something within those vibrations that are presenting me with an opportunity to learn. I'm not just having a physical experience, I'm having a soul experience. I'm having a spiritual experience. So, what does it mean on a soul, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional level? What all is here for me to see? And a lot of times when we're speaking from the analytical mind, we can talk about it, but we don't be about it. And so my invitation is to recognize how you be in relation to what you speak. It makes a world of difference when you speak from where you be, because you know who you are. There's clarity that comes with that. There's power that comes with that. It's palpable. There's a level of exchange that happens that gets to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's amazing. It's a very wonderful thing. So with the spleen and the lungs and the heart being active, so what does this mean? Well, obviously the heart is undergoing massive upgrades with the incoming photon waves. Again, this is another thing that people are like, yes, everything's moving through, things are moving through, all the things are moving through, energy's moving through. We're receiving upgrades from the central sun, but what does that mean? People talk about it, but how do you be about it? Well, then this means your identity is showing you how you're acting in relation to what's coming through. So as the upgrades are coming in, you have an opportunity to learn from this version of your identity that you would normally not be aware of. A lot of times when we're operating, especially in spiritual identity, we don't normally there's a certain level of feeling like we need to protect ourselves, or at least I've experienced this, and I sense it through others as well. It's almost like a need to protect what we are, because we feel like we're being attacked, but we're not. When you have an opportunity to learn through your egoic identity, it's a blessing. It's such a beautiful gift. And that's what all these upgrades are offering us, an opportunity to understand who we are. And in order for you to embody your cosmic universal higher, you must understand who you are. Who is the identity that is reciting the words, that is presenting all the different knowledge? What version of you is that? What version of you is showing up to talk about it? What version of you is expressing the experience that you're having with your friends or your partner or your family? What version of you is showing up to share your voice? Your voice carries every aspect of you, whether you like that or not. And to review it is to learn, and to learn is to grow, and to grow is to embody. The more that you grow from learning, the more that you embody your higher, the more that your higher frequency can come in and anchor. Your higher frequency cannot come in and anchor through an identity that is still attempting to protect itself, because it's afraid, because it worries, because it's analyzing everything. Your higher cannot come in and serve because you're still choosing a frequency that is vibrationally dissonant. It doesn't allow it. And so right now, and this is something I've mentioned in previous lives, and it is underway. It's been underway, majority in the unseen, but it's beginning to show up in the seen, which is emerging of timelines or realities. These realities that have been vibrationally transmuted through acceptance and higher learning are coming together into a greater unity and harmony, which means that they're no longer necessary in the vibration of fear, and they get to be transmuted into a greater sequencing. That greater sequencing carries a greater balance of vibrational harmony. Love you. Thank you, my dear. I always love hearing from you. I'm so grateful. And I know that everything is always divinely aligned. I love you. I love you. I love you. And so like whenever we have the opportunity to learn from these, we really should accept that. Especially if we have a mirror, and mirrors are always showing up to show us, well, what part of us is showing ourselves, right? Are you still existing in fear? A lot of times people are going to say, well, no. They're going to say, no, I know all these things, and I'm here to, I'm acting from a space of protection, or I'm acting from a space of higher. But I guarantee you, the fear is not showing you the way you think it's going to show through you. It's fear shows itself in ways that are most suited for you to see it. And it's not always going to look in the way you think it's going to look. Just like a lot of times people might believe that they're operating from a space of balance. They might think that they're not reactive because it's not emotional. Reactive isn't emotional all the time, just like fear isn't emotional all the time. If you choose a response that is vibrationally still connected to the identity of an egoic self, that response alone is reactive in and of itself, because it's not accepting new opportunities. You might have someone that presents you an opportunity. They might actually offer you an invitation to do something different. And because your identity truly believes that it's not necessary, that you don't have to do that, that you shouldn't need to do that, you offer a response. And that response, it's naturally reactive because you did not accept the invitation of doing something differently. So see, things don't always look the way you think they're gonna look. The only way that you get to learn from that is if you have, number one, a mirror to reflect it. That's your most powerful space. But to accept that things are not looking the way that you think they are. And if you do not give yourself permission to be seen, then you will not be able to really understand the different levels and layers that come in relation to fear, reaction, denial, and distortion. And in order for, and as these, well, actually not in order for, as these timelines are merging, as these realities are merging, the reason why they're able to merge is because we no longer require, at least those of us that are there embodied, no longer require those separate lines of experience. We no longer require those lessons. And since we have not only accepted that, but we are operating, we are actually being, we're existing as the vibration that no longer is anchoring into those parallel existences, well, they're able to merge. And this creates a greater state of unity. That's where, again, the unity consciousness comes in. Everything's beginning to merge together. So it's very important right now that everyone really, really take an opportunity to not only access your higher mirrors, if you have that opportunity, but to realize that everything is mirroring to you, everything that you are. If there is anyone that you're interacting with, especially like one-on-one, having a conversation with, you cannot have a conversation with someone that is not directly your mirror. They're reflecting something of you. So if you feel like that you are already past them, or they don't understand you, or they're not in the vibrational frequency of you, then you are in a complex that is not understanding itself in the fullest parameter of what it is. You're prohibiting yourself from acknowledging that everyone that shows up is your mirror. It can be no other way. Even if they don't appear in the same way that you do, they're still reflecting something of you. They're showing you hidden parts of you, and parts of you that you wouldn't see without that connection. So it's very important to realize that you are never higher than your mirror. You're never lower than your mirror. You're exactly where you need to be. That's why it's a mirror. So please accept and acknowledge that everything that is directly in contact with you is a mirror. Everything in your external environment you are projecting. It is you coming back to you, and you can only see what you believe. You can only project what you think. You can only, that's the only thing that can go out there, is your own vibration. So if you would like to receive a different exchange through someone, then you must understand why you're transmitting that exchange to begin with. That's the only way it can show up differently, because a person is not just reflecting through their own belief system. They're directly reflecting you back to you. Okay. Now, obviously, we're not responsible for the way others think or the way others feel, but others show up because they're other selves, okay? They're other selves, and other selves are always mirrors. They can be nothing else. So right now, as we're undergoing these massive shifts, it's very important to acknowledge how you speak and what you speak. It's important to acknowledge that you are representing a version of you every time you do speak. So speak with clarity, speak with purpose and intention, and know who you are when you speak. That's sovereign authority. I'm not saying don't exchange or don't talk just to talk, but why would you? Why would you want to share your voice if not but to express a deeper understanding of yourself? I feel like that's also a valuable and important lesson that we can all take away and we can all learn, is that if I'm going to share, I'm going to share from the depths of myself and allow any part of me that is egoic and identity to be seen through my expression. That's the only way that we learn and grow, is we understand that when we do speak, all of us comes through, even parts of us that we don't think are showing up. They're there. Our tone expresses it. It's felt, it's seen, it's heard. At least those that are there in clarity can see clearly. So as we're moving through this and as we're getting ready to step into the receiving, the reason why I express all of this is because what's incoming always to the activation is directly correlated to how clearly you know who you are. Because when you know who you are, you receive with clarity. You see what's coming in with clarity because it's unseen. It's unseen for a reason. And as these planetary lines are merging, as these realities are merging, it's very, very important right now to choose something other than fear. Please, because you vibrationally are determining where you are going to end up in these timeline merges, in these reality merges. And I don't say, and obviously, if you're someone that doesn't exist in fear, you can hear that and you're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But if you exist in fear, then you're gonna like, oh my gosh, well, what happens if I don't? Oh my gosh, where am I gonna end up? Because you freak out about everything. And if you freak out about everything, well, then it's worth acknowledging that you are in a very reactive state all the time. Why is that? Why are you so reactive to everything? Why do you feel that you need to react to everything? Do you not also have an opportunity to acknowledge that you have a choice, and your choice has been mostly based in the reactivity of fear, and you have a choice to not be in the reactivity of fear? So when you hear something like that, it's not to evoke further fear, it's to bring you into a revelation that you always have a different choice. And vibrationally, as everything is merging, it's really just, it's where you're anchoring. It's where you're anchoring. That's what the ability to receive everything that's coming in with greater ease, fluidity, and deeper understanding comes from the ability to hold yourself clearly and without fear, without perceiving that you're somehow saving the world by showing up in your sovereign authority, because you don't. We're not saving anyone. We're simply remembering our power. No one is here to be saved. No, we don't even really, I know we hear that we can't save other people. We're here to save ourselves. But what is that? Like, what do we be saving ourselves from? I'm even going to remend that for myself. We don't save ourselves because we don't need saving. We're not dying. We're not drowning. This is not an infinite existence. It's a very finite point of self-discovery on a soul level. And you come in here because it's a game. It's not that serious. There's nothing to be afraid of other than your own egoic personality, which creates everything that you are fearing. So if you want to experience the grand and vast infinite space of self that exists, you let go of fear. You no longer choose it. Everything that you're afraid of, you are already existing in those parallel realities, and you're just going to step into that experience of whatever it is you fear. because that's where you're mostly vibrationally anchored, is you're always worried, you're always concerned. Well, what if I don't make the right choice? Well, what if I don't do this correctly? Like, you are so vibrationally anchored into realities that are siphoning your light. They're siphoning. Everything is so reactive all the time. But you don't have to be. It doesn't have to matter. You don't have to give it that type of meaning. You can give it a different meaning. Okay, so with everything coming in, vibrationally, the upgrades and everything it's so well received when you give yourself permission to simply exist in a space of unconditional acceptance. So as we prepare to step into this, the one thing that I'm going to request is that you tune into yourself and just laugh. It's not serious. Stop taking it so seriously. Stop asking because you doubt and start asking because you're curious. Stop resisting the growth and the expansion and start standing in it, because that's where you're really going to experience this. Now, as you move through this, you might feel your body, you might feel movement, which is happening without you thinking about it. That's simply the vibrational tone of your channel. That's you existing in your purest, where movement is a natural state. So I invite you to simply allow the movement, allow it to happen, and to ease it along, to increase the momentum of the movement. You as an awareness are actively participating. You are aware of what's moving through. So if you're aware of what's moving through, you can help move it along, because you are the active awareness. You are the source. Okay, so what's showing up in the spleen? That's showing up as a lack of self-worth, even anger and aggression. Rejecting the immune system. The immune system is your natural shield. And anytime you doubt your power or you reject your source, then you automatically reject your immune system. Your nervous system is in reactivity instead of acceptance, instead of the response of regeneration and rejuvenation. So when your spleen is not able to operate at its highest, it's because at least one of the main things that's coming up right now is a lack of self-worth, a lack of trust, and a lack of acceptance. The heart is automatically undergoing expansion. That's here for everyone. Lungs, inability to hold the truth of self, where you feel that it's like when a person speaks and they're forcing them, like it's almost like a force. Your identity is showing up as a false expression of self. And of course, if you still hold any beliefs in sickness, disease, anything like that, and many people say, well, no, I don't really believe in disease, but if they feel that something's really wrong, they will be looking for an answer on how to solve it from a doctor or something, which is only deals with sickness and disease. So there's always holistic approaches. You can always go the holistic route. That's where you bridge the gap, where you understand that your beliefs are also obstructing your ability for your body to harmonize naturally. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and step into this. My phone on do not disturb here. Okay. All right. Wow. And as soon as we get ready to start, look at the lights. Massive, like that just came out of nowhere. Okay. I might have been because I did that on my phone, actually. Yeah. Still cool. All right. All right, everyone, just go ahead and give yourself an opportunity. Oh, is it? I love it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, my dear. All right, just go ahead and begin bringing yourself into a deeper state of presence. Again, I'm really feeling cellular opening, cellular clearing, cellular purging. It's happening anyways. Ashley, hello, sis. I'm so grateful you're here, my love. So as I'm dropping in, aside from the yawning, I'm already beginning to rock, moving, like this moving going forward. I'm not even thinking about it. It's just happening. So when I drop fully in, I become a motion, I become a pillar. It's not something, it's not something that I'm expressing so that you can force to happen. You don't force it. You just simply accept that if it shows up, if you show up in that way, and then embrace it, allow it. Mm. Opening, 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 opening. And as your higher comes in, the central point, the pineal, right in the central part of your head, of your brain, you have a line that is like an antenna where you receive. Give yourself an opportunity to tune into that. And as you tune into it, experience how expansive things become. Give yourself permission again to acknowledge that you're not just a body or an awareness in a body. You're a body that's within an awareness. Your awareness is an infinitely large space. It's everywhere all at once. And I'm going to just ask everyone to please declare, I accept, I receive, I accept, I allow. And I will connect to everyone that is available to receive the connection. I will connect through the heart space with everyone. Man. Ah. Open, 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 open. Okay. All right. For those that are open and available, I am coming in and I'm just going to connect with each of you. Okay. Wow, you can really hear the frequency stay. Man, that light is powerful. You can really hear them. Okay, thank you to those that were accepting, open, and available. And we are anchoring through the heart. And calling forward the order of Alcyon. To go ahead and begin transmitting the lines of wisdom. It's very powerful at the feet. There's also powerful lines of wisdom that come up from the planetary grids, and those are coming up to the feet. You can really feel how active that is. Base of my feet, it feels like there's like a little river of currents, like electrical currents running under my feet. That's what it feels like. And you can feel them. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you can feel them no matter how you're sitting. Just being aware that they're there. But it may be easier felt the closer your feet are to the planet. I'm not for sure. I'm sure that depends on the person. Okay, opening, activating all stars, and opening, expanding the channel, expanding, opening all stars, opening, 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 opening the hemispheres, expanding, 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 opening, 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 opening the third ear, opening the third eye, opening, 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 opening. Connecting into the third ear, connecting into the third eye. And transmitting through the pineal, transmitting through the pineal. Open, open, open. Okay. Activating the sequencing of 7. The sequencing can show up through 4, through 3, or through 7, but we honor the way that it presented itself through me today with 7774433. Accepting, acknowledging this. The sequencing is a vibrational declaration of wisdom, of tone. It's going to appear just as when you reference sequencing in hertz or like Rife frequencies or anything like that. When you play a certain frequency or a certain sequence, you can, we've watched as like salt forms a different pattern. Okay. So the numerical sequencing, the vibrational pattern does form a specific harmonic resonance for us on a cellular level. And it also carries wisdom. Okay. Opening, activating root, expanding root. Opening, activating sacral, expanding sacral. Opening, activating solar plexus, expanding solar plexus. Opening, activating heart, expanding heart. Activating all stars, opening, activating Earth star, opening, activating soul star, activating all stars all the way to the universal star. And anchoring into the wisdom of Alcyon. The orders of wisdom of the 12 central suns. These are the wisdoms of the universe, the libraries. Anchoring into that vibrational tone. Acknowledge now the bringers of wisdom. Acknowledge now the bringers of change. The bringers of change are heralded through the octaves of wisdom. Wisdom is carried through the soul. It is carried through the spirit. It is not carried through the analytical mind. The analytical mind does not know wisdom. It merely knows knowledge. And even that knowledge is limited to a very specific vantage point, a vantage point that it must observe as being safe and secure. For yourself of this programmed mind and anchor into the currency of the higher. The higher doesn't mean better than. The higher means deeper within. The higher you go into the self, the higher you go into the octave, the deeper you go into yourself, the deeper you go into consciousness. Opening, activating cells, opening, activating, expanding, opening and activating the nervous system, expanding the spine, opening the spleen, activating the spleen, opening the lungs, activating the lungs, calling in the order of Alcyon to purify, clear, and cleanse the spleen, to purify, cleanse, and clear the lungs of any and all programming connected to lack, insecurity, unworthiness. These aspects can only be cleared because you understand that you are anchored in a different version of self. If you are still accepting that you are somehow lacking something, then obviously it cannot be cleared. It can only be cleared if you are anchored into the self, into the paradigm that is accepting itself as whole, complete, and lacking nothing. So give yourself permission to anchor there fully. All right, opening the spleen, opening, unlocking the spleen, calling in the currents of clearing, purifying, and harmonizing. Calling in the currents of clearing, purifying, and harmonizing. Ariasukute, asiakute, oriasukute, ori ari asikte, etik, ori asiktik, ari atik asiktik ik, arik asiktik ik, arik asiktik ik. Clear, 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 open, and expand the spleen. And clearing and purifying, clearing and purifying, clearing, 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 purifying, and releasing any all programming and outdated belief systems that are creating an imbalance or a space of lack, a block, not allowing the spleen to operate in harmony and in purity. Purifying, calling the light up from the earth star. Calling the light up from the earth star, clearing and purifying. Calling it up, calling it up, calling it up. Calling it up, calling it up, calling it up, calling it up. Clearing, 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 purifying. Calling it up, calling it up, calling it up, calling it up, calling it up. Calling in the wisdom of the seven to cleanse, purify, and activate the spleen. Expressing the currents. You. Cleansing, purifying. Cleansing, 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 purifying. Calling the spine and the spleen into light, cleansing and clearing. 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 Definitely some powerful lines coming to that side because my arm is being held up. I'm not even holding it up myself. It's just my arms are rising. And allowing the heart to transmit the clearing tones and the clearing vibrations, purifying the organs, purifying the spleen, and also purifying the pancreas. Also calling forward the active metabed from the 5th dimension, activating through the spine. And metabed is active with octaves, so expressing, receiving. And active, 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 activating, 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 activating to the spine, activating to the spine, activating to the spine. Activating 5th dimensional metabed. Activating, activating, activating. And basically it'll feel like your spine is plasma. It's water. So as that is active, allowing that, anchoring, 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 anchoring through the spine. And allowing the metabed to simply repair the DNA, the cells, harmonizing and aligning the spine. It's always such an interesting experience because I really feel like I have no spine. It's very interesting. All right, activating the wisdom of the seven, unlocking through the spine. Kuriasia, 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 ariatuchia, katanin, mariasete, ariakuka, ke, ariasikia, diasiki, ariasiki, ariasiki, ariakte, marikute, ariasete, 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 activating, activating the vibrational sequence of 77743, 7774433, apologies, 7774433. Activating and anchoring into the sequencing, activating the cells, activating. And clearing and purging any and all outdated programs, any and all outdated sequencing, and proclaiming, I am the source. I am the source. I am the source. Active in the source, active in the higher self, active in the universal mind. I am the source of light, and I am the light. I am now embodying myself as the source, as the light. All sequencing is a vibrational currency of myself as the source, as the light. My cells are cleansed, my cells are purged, my cells are harmonized, my cells are revitalized. I am the source and I am active in my design. I am actively receiving the wisdom of the source. My cells are dancing with joy, with rejuvenation, with regeneration. Right now, my cells are vibrating in the sequence of the source, the design of purity, harmony, balance. And because I am the light, I command that all is balanced. I command that all is harmonized. Because I command it, it is. Definitely feeling lots of lightness, lots of floatiness right now. Like this whole central space. Like the spine is the pillar and everything else just feels so light. calling forward the 12 rings of Saturn in conjunction with the 12 higher selves and the 12 rays. Connecting. Anchoring, 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 anchoring. Receiving the 12 rays, receiving the 12 rings. It's intense. Receiving, purifying, cleansing, cleansing and purifying the skin, cleansing and purifying the cells, cleansing and purifying, clearing any and all radiation. Because the radiation, as we receive it, can hold debris. So we want to clear the radiation debris. We want to anchor into radiation. We really do. But we want to clear any debris, any clutter, anything that's holding fear. We want to cleanse and release that. Cleanse and release. Cleanse and release. Cleansing and releasing any and all particles or any and all lower density based feedback loops of fear, of doubt, of worry, of lack, clearing, 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 clearing and cleansing. 12 rings of Saturn are clearing, purifying, and cleansing. Anchor, 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 calling in those 12 rings. All right, beginning. Cleansing, clearing, purging, cleansing, clearing, purging. Receiving. Receiving the vortex of the 12. Clearing, cleansing all 5 senses. Clearing, purifying, and cleansing the senses. Receiving the data and the wisdom of the 12 rings. Imprinting. Gariasuteki, Ari Asate, Iri Atate, Inimarataki, Isikiti, Aramatic, Isiki Marakatek, Imarakateki, Isiki, the Marakateki, Maratek, tick, 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 tick. Anchor, anchor, clear and cleanse. All cells are being purified. All cells are being cleared and cleansed. It's a very intense line. And anchoring through the Earth Star. Order of Alcyon supporting. Weaving through the spine. Activating. Activating the pillar of the spine. The wisdom of the seven. The wisdom of the seven carries the wisdom and the information of 7 moons, 7 suns, 7 universes, 7 main parallel lives, main parallel multiverses. Receiving the wisdom of the 7. Really moving through intensely through the ears. The 3rd ear is receiving. We are the sisters and the brothers of the 7. We are the council of 7. We are the bringers of change. We are the fountain of youth. We are the key to safety and security. This all comes from with inheriting the vibration of the 7. It is a tone. It is a sequence. It is a recognition of self. And hearing those words is going to resonate, it's going to land, and it's going to connect to each of you independently in its own way. And you're going to recognize something within those words. It's going to carry something of home. It's going to carry a remembrance. It's going to connect you deeper within yourself. And almost like I'm like hearing, even though there's no words, I can hear that there is an overlapping almost feels like a discussion. There's definitely other worlds, other cosmic carriers of vibration present, speaking. All right, receiving. Very, very, it's like a massive, it's like a massive bandwidth around the head. Massive. Yeah, we are the children of the stars. We are the brothers and the sisters of light. We are the carriers of the wisdom of the tone of light. We are here in connection with each of you, and we are also here working through each of you. Those that have the ear to hear and the eye to see. All right. Purifying, cleansing, 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 clearing, 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 cleansing and clearing the field, cleansing and clearing, cleansing and clearing. And actively proclaiming, I am the source. I am the light. I am the embodiment of the higher self. I am now aligned to my highest line. I am now aligned to my highest timeline. I am the source of infinite wisdom. I am the carrier of truth. I am the bringer of change. There's just a massive current moving through. That's intense. It's very interesting right now. I kind of feel like I'm moving between dimensions, if that makes sense. Moving between worlds, moving between dimensions. Normally, I would feel called to express with a lot of declarations and commandments, but what I'm feeling right now is there's such a powerful stream moving through as I'm hearing just to be the anchor. So holding the space, holding the anchor, actively receiving through the 12, actively receiving through the 12 central suns, actively receiving, expanding the nervous system out into the 12 dimensions. Anchoring, 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 anchoring through the 12. Okay, anchored. Receiving the light of the 12 central suns. Receiving the data. It's so beautiful. It just feels like the sun is right on my face, like I'm looking right at the sun. Receiving. Ooh, that's intense. Okay, yeah. Definitely receiving through the 12 dimensions. Definitely receiving through the 12 central suns. Whew. Whew. That's intense. Receiving. Your nervous system, your skin and everything might feel like it's being kind of pelted. Or you might just feel like you're inside a bell being rung. Either way it goes, that's the expansion beyond the physical plane. And pulling this in, we're training the senses to receive beyond the physical. streaming into the organs, streaming into the DNA, streaming into the cells. Receiving the light directly from the central suns. Receiving it directly through the 12th dimension. Very interesting. Very cool feeling just to feel how it's moving through the arms, moving through the legs. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting feeling. It's almost like when your arm goes to sleep, but not the same. It's a little different. It's a very interesting sensation. Okay, actively receiving through the 12th dimension, actively receiving through the nervous system, upgrading the senses, upgrading the sensors, upgrading the cellular resonance. There goes the liquid spine again. And just receiving. Allow yourself to fill your cup, basically. Experiencing vibrational currency. It's pretty powerful. Anchoring, anchoring, anchoring Earth Star, anchoring, anchoring Universal Star. Really intense vibrations. My goodness, really intense. The 12 rings of Saturn are finalizing the purification. Very interesting experience today. I'm not as active in moving, or it's very it's different, but it's extremely powerful, which is what I love. I love having the experience show up in the exact way that's necessary and needed, but also designed by me. Open, open, open. And receive. Anchoring, anchoring, anchoring. Okay, as we are here holding ourselves in the light of the 12, anchoring in the cells, anchoring the purity, anchoring the clarity, anchoring, 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 Anchoring. I'm going to do a quick check-in with everyone. How is everyone feeling with this type of receiving? Is everyone feeling like they're pretty open in receiving? Would you like to go through a little bit more? Okay, everyone's feeling pretty good with it like this? Okay, awesome. Just making sure that everyone is still like, just want to always check in and see how the experience is going, because it's been pretty powerful just in the way it is without me doing any extra things. Okay, so everyone's feeling the vibration pretty good. All right, good deal. Good deal. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's call in Saturn. I'm going to request a more expansive connection into the 12 rings. Okay. Well, oh, good, Nazi. Okay, awesome. All right, let's take a moment and just connect deeper into Saturn and the receiving. Saturn's pouring a lot through. Yeah, I know. It's interesting you mentioned the sleepiness, because it's starting to kind of come in. Like I'm starting to kind of feel sleepy myself, but I also feel like there's a little bit more here. It's very it's like the feeling, yeah, it's like melting kind of. It's like it feels like so what's happening here is we're experiencing how we move vibrationally between, like, we have our reality of okay, wonderful. Thank you. Love you guys so much. We have our reality as it concerns our physical, right? But we also have an unseen. And this unseen is where we walk between dimensions. We walk between worlds, if you will. And a lot of times, like, we have the reality where a lot of times people are waiting for this alien encounter. It's not that that isn't quote unquote coming. That's an agreement to us, for us, and through us, of our own consciousness. But right now, we actually are connecting with ourselves and our, shall we say, cosmic counterparts vibrationally. That's the true connection. It always has been, because where a lot of these where a lot of our cosmic counterparts are is in a dimension that we cannot see. That's the whole point. A dimension is a frequency. That frequency carries a specific tone, and our eyes are not attuned to that dimensional frequency. That's why we don't necessarily see it. Our eyes are tuned to this reality, this specific dimensional currency. But we can experience it by feeling, right? That's why when we expand into the 12th dimension, our system feels it. So let's play in like the 7th dimension. So expanding into the 7th dimension. Expanding. And just notice the sensations. The vibrations. And just allowing yourself to attune to it. Very interesting, the sensations, how it's coming from like right at my head down to my ribs. It's like a very specific area. Almost like yeah, like I still feel the legs, I still feel the feet, but it's a very, very specific cutoff point almost. It's like two different experiences through the dimensions. It's very interesting. And calling forward the wisdom of the higher selves, calling forward the 12 higher selves in connection with the 12 rings, expanding through the 12 dimensions. And that's where it gets really intense. Ooh. Receiving the 12, receiving through the 12 rays, receiving through the 12 higher selves, receiving through the 12 dimensions, and then receiving too through the 12 central suns. My entire being is just vibrating. So as we learn to walk between worlds, there's a very specific activation point that hit there. I believe. Hang on. It's like right in your butt. It's like it's a very specific activation point. Connecting into and through Saturn, pulling the wisdom of Saturn in through the 12 rings in connection with the 12 higher selves, in connection with the 12 central suns. Receiving the vibrational patterns. It's a very direct sequence, very direct. And it's opening, 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 opening. That's just such a powerful line. There's just such right now this, and again, I'm just really thank you for everyone that's here and that's exploring this with me. It's been a powerful experience of just holding the space. It's also a good teaching tool of learning how to and just maintaining the space of holding the experience, the sensations. There's a massive anchoring that's taking place. So that's why we're just, now it comes in. There's a direct cosmic line coming in right now. Wow, the wind's getting up. There's a direct cosmic line being poured in right now. The wind is getting up big time. I don't know if you guys can hear that. So we're holding the space for the cosmic line. It's coming in through us as we are expanded in our awareness in our nervous system. So we have 7 different cosmic federations, I guess you could say, overseeing, all pouring in right now. It's such an intense line, so just bear with me. So just allow yourself to hold the space, receiving. Now it makes sense. Very intense. Woo, very intense line. Not sure if anyone else is experiencing it that intensely, but I am. Coming in directly from the central suns, it's basically beaming, transmitting. Now this happens anyways when we come together for an activation, but this one was a direct planetary line. And let's see, anchor, 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 anchor cosmic, anchor universal, anchor planetary, anchor, anchor. Whew, very intense. Okay, and upgrading the planetary contract through the collective upgrading, receiving the cosmic currents. All of us came together. It's no mistake, especially those in the chat, because I know each of you. I'm connected with each of you in a very, very powerful soul contract. So it's no mistake that we all came together in a public live either. So anchoring, upgrading the collective contract, upgrading, anchoring, anchoring the cosmic currents. Man, that's intense. So it's just like, it's like not letting up. It's just consistent. It's just hammering. Just using your awareness, using your vessel as the vehicle to receive and anchoring it, acknowledging that we are upholding a higher contract right now by coming together. So basically using yourself as the vehicle, as the antenna, and as the anchor, as the earthbound anchor. You are the earthbound anchor. Acknowledging, anchoring. This is also upgrading the DNA. The longer that we can just simply hold this point of receiving. Massive. No wonder the heart stuff was happening. Oh, man, that's intense. That heart. Oh. Oh, new heart portal opening. Higher heart portal opening. Mm. Mm. Pulling a higher collective gateway through, pulling a higher collective gateway through, expanding your heart space, just acknowledging we're pulling a higher collective gateway through, which means it's pulling the collective consciousness into a higher anchor point. So basically birthing for the landing space, if you will, for our consciousness. Mm. Receiving, calling forward the Council of Seven. Beloved souls, we are here with you now. We are here transmitting. Obviously, this is a universal transmission. It is not an independent transmission, but we are overseeing from our own individual universes and realities. We are overseeing and through the ranges of consciousness. We are here as we have always been. This transmission is a collective unity of parallel realities and a collective unity of universal, multidiversal, multidimensional comings together in this moment to upgrade the simulation for the planetary consciousness. What was very interesting, and I did not put this in my notes earlier, but it came through as the second coming of Christ. I don't want to give it like just I'm laughing about it because that's a very, that can be taken so seriously. Like it's not that, but it is a new level of consciousness and a new heralding of coming together and receiving and anchoring. And using our vehicle and our vessel as the transmission point. Receiving. Definitely feeling it through the digestive tract now. Pulling it up. That's why the lungs and stuff needed to be clear. That is a massive opening in the wing space. Goodness gracious. And in the spine, ah. Oh my goodness, that's intense. Transmitting the bandwidth. I heard you will be rewarded. Just keep going. Just receiving. Everybody, I hope everybody's doing okay. I hope everybody is, just thank you. Thank you for holding the space. Thank you for holding the transmission. Because man, it's intense. Let's see if I can open this up some. Open, 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 open. Expand the wing space. Expand, but expand, expand. Breaking. Breaking. Breaking the physical dimensional hold. Breaking. Open. 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 There we go. I'm going to reset the comments really quickly, everyone. 1 second. Okay. Open, open, open. Opening, activating wing space, expanding, receiving all cosmic data, receiving all cosmic contracts, receiving through the 7, receiving through the 12. There we go. Anchored in the highest tone, anchored in the highest reality, anchored in the highest chord. I am the voice of source and the voice of expression, the voice of source and the voice of light. As the voice of light, we are anchored in the purity and the harmony of the source. We are anchored in the purity and the harmony of the light. We are anchored and expanded. We are cosmic universal. We are not physical bound. We are cosmic universal. We are the light. We are the source. We are expanded beyond the physical material. We are the light. We are the source. We are expanded beyond the physical material. We are the light. We are the source. We are the cosmos. We are the universe. We are the source. There we go. We are the source. Expanded, expanded, expanded. There we go. A good way to expand your experience is to recognize your voice has power. Your voice has the power to shift everything and anything it will, especially if you recognize your voice as the power of source. I command the power of space. I command the power of time. There we go. That's the voice of source commanding. Opening, expanding, overriding the dimensional, almost like a dimensional limitation, overriding, breaking free of that. Thank you. All right, this is an upgraded consciousness, an upgraded contract of consciousness, a collective contract, transmitting from the 12 central suns, 12 men, transmitting from the universal source, transmitting also too from the council or the, council of 7, vibrationally, yes, council of 7. Part of the Federation of Worlds, Planets, Universes. And now there we go. Floating in the currency, floating in the frequency. You may feel a slight sensation at the base of your skull. Anchored in the tone. So now we're in that, there we go. Finally broke free. In a space of lightness. We had to be pulled through the density and the dimensionality, basically. And now, lightness. basically floating. Now I understand what the being rewarded was about, because this is definitely different. It's a different sensation. It feels really good, really light. Like I'm just like there's no such thing as gravity, really. Okay, yes, definitely carrying a different frequency. Ooh, okay. All right, my loves, I do feel like that's the basically the carrying the tone of completion right there is what it feels like, because it's moving through the entire body. So let's see, checking in is the contract and the point of receiving complete. Yes, okay. All right. Checking in to see how everyone's doing. Thank you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for hanging in. So I'm going to anchor us, anchor, anchor, anchor Earth Star, bring everything in. Contract is feeding in through the Earth Star, in through the Universal Star, receiving through the pillar, receiving through the channel. Everything is anchored. Everything is anchored. Everything is anchored, 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 anchored. There it comes. There we go. Anchored, anchored, anchored. Just checking in to see how everyone's doing. My goodness, this was a really, I was not expecting this contract to come in today. That's what I love about this stuff. It's amazing. You can really feel, wow, yeah, we've received it. I mean, it's still here, but that line, yeah, it's still here, but that line is really powerful. Um, yeah, it's still massive vibrations. It's still happening. But definitely feeling, yeah, it's moving now. Everything is moving and anchoring through the body. Um, Massive vibrations. Yes, so much. Okay, so it's very interesting. It was like no wonder I was feeling like it was like I knew kind of what was coming in, but like I really felt like I was just moving. It's like as soon as I started anchoring, it was like this feels like there's something else. And I'm just like, there's something else, but what is the something else? And I love it how it always drops in, because it's like it needs to land in the way that it lands, right? I need to discover it. And so that was a beautiful discovery, that we were meant to be just simply the space, the vehicle, the vessel, just coming together and anchoring all of this. Um, Absolutely beautiful. So much lightness, so much floatiness, so much vibration. Um, and I'm really grateful that we all got to go through and discover this together, like truly. Um, Massive wave was received. And now the 12, I mean, now the 7 makes sense, because I was aware of the council of 7. And I was curious as to how the wisdom of the 7 was being received, because you have to, when you receive things like that, when you hear things like that, you can just leave it at that. Like, oh, it's just the wisdom. But what is the wisdom? Well, in this case, the wisdom was the wave, it was the currency, it was the literally a direct cosmic, like my entire jaw. Wow. Um, Literally a direct current coming in at this moment in time. Like we just simply showed up. That's all it was. It was already coming, and we intersected it. And that's upgrading our system, the way that we vibrationally exist, really. And also, too, we have to remember that we do vibrationally, dimensionally hold specific experiences. And we've been so vibrationally adapted to the physical material. And the physical material is a byproduct, as we all know, of again, it's just a specific frequency. I don't know. I will use this reference really quickly. If you guys have ever seen the movie, Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets, is it Valerian? In the City of a Thousand Planets? And he has to wear these glasses at one point because I think it's like a mall. It exists in a different dimension, and because it's in a different dimension, and we, as the technology of our cells, as a human, is vibrating. The human, the template, is vibrating at a very specific dimensional currency. And so you have to wear glasses to, and you can still move through and interact, right? But you have to be attuned, right? You have to have a connection point to that dimension. So what's coming through, sorry for all yawning. What's coming through is like a attunement to different dimensional experiences. Not only I don't know for sure necessarily to see them, but to sense them. Like for me, when my eyes are closed, I don't see anything other than the streams of data. Like I see the streams of data, the dimensional streams of data, if you will. And like the way that it's moving and such. But we're definitely undergoing frequency adaptation where we're becoming more adapted to seeing, feeling, and experiencing differently. Yeah, it's really interesting that you're mentioning that about the intestines, because what I've noticed, there's like this, I'm feeling this sense in my ribs and right through here. And it's just like, it's almost like I'm cut off right there. I'm still sensing. I mean, I can still sense everything in my legs. It's really intense. But I'm most aware of, in my realm of sensing, I'm most aware of what's happening in this area. My nose is also running. So much, my goodness. Yeah, the wisdom of the seven was definitely opening and clearing. It was coming in as a cosmic current, and that cosmic current carries the wisdom is basically lived experience. So in order for us to carry the wisdom, we must be basically living, breathing, experiencing, understanding what it actually means through us on a vibrational level. And so what's going to happen is this is going to continue to unfold through us, and what that means for us individually. And the recognition of the voice. Oh my goodness. Anchor, 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 anchor. I am anchored, anchored. I am anchored. I am anchored. The voice is the power. And the power of the voice and the clarity of the voice comes from understanding who you are. That's the power of the voice. Yeah. Oh yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Mina. You're very welcome. And right now, what we're all uncovering is how our voice carries us, and it carries us in a multitude of ways, right? It carries us in a way that allows us to be seen as the power that proclaims, and also understanding what that power is. Is it a power that we think, or a power that we are, right? So the voice is the source of power in this realm, and meaning it carries everything of you, everything that you are, everything that you be. That's your source of power. That's why we have a voice in this realm. Okay, that's the power of it. That's the importance of it. It's potent, but it's also going to carry things of you that you might not think are there. It's also going to carry parts of you that you might not want to think are there, but they are. Your voice reveals everything. It reveals everything. It's a source of power in that way that it reveals everything. So thank you all so much for receiving this. It's just so many yawns, so much. And it makes sense because the last few days have just been like I'm also noticing too, I do want to speak into this here. I mean, I have days where I'm like, and this is also why the renewal of our contracts are coming through in this way for those in my groups, because I'm noticing on days where I'm called to deep mirroring, I'm there in the mirror. And then there's days where I'm activating. And then there's days, so like what I've been doing is I've been mirroring and doing things like that every single day. But what I'm noticing is that it's coming through, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be mirroring every day, but I'm noticing, especially over the last few days, that there was almost like a, I'm using that as an example of I'm recognizing how I'm showing up in a different way, right? Just using that as a reference point. And it's because it's like what's coming through now in the mirroring is bringing it, well, it always brings so much, but it just feels, I just want to drop that here. It just feels like there's going to be like pockets. And that was also something that came through, at least for now, there's going to be pockets of mirrors, of higher mirrors. So, I feel like that's serving in this, in this next level of self-mastery. There's something to that. So I'm excited to see how that's going to unfold, as each of you know, because we're stepping into higher contracts. So thank you all for receiving. This was amazing. I do have right now one space left for the 4-week container, maybe two. I have one person that's said they're committed, but I'm not hearing anything back from them. So I might have two spaces open for the 4-week container. We begin July 1st. For anyone that's interested, it's going to be 4 weeks activation like this every single week. Group, you know, we're gonna have we have a WhatsApp group that will be there for that. Reviewing self-mastery, all the different things, the mirroring. You do have access to one one-on-one, and an opportunity for a second one-on-one. Please understand though that those one-on-ones could come after that month, just because I do have another group that's in operation, actually two groups, but technically, well, really just two. This 4-week in that group technically. So there's also one-on-ones that are becoming more active through that per the new contract. So just be aware that I'm not for sure when they're going to land, but they're going to land exactly when they're meant to. So I just want us to all acknowledge that. Okay. If you're interested in the 4 weeks, it is $222 for the whole thing plus the one-on-one. If you would like the extra one-on-one, it's $333. So if you're interested, I will have the information in the description. Please reach out, let me know. You can make it into payments if you're interested. That's fine. Payments will be through Venmo and PayPal. I mean, we've all felt it. It's powerful. It's going to be based around, you know, accessing wealth, accessing abundance, but I don't want to just leave it for that. It's also going to be for accessing the wisdom of the DNA. And you guys know me, whatever comes through, comes through. So it's basically an outline, but it's whatever's going to come through. So therefore, we're going to see what that is. So thank you guys. I love you. I will have the information in the description if you're interested. And yeah, thank you. I love you all. And I will see you next time. Until then, Adonai. Love you.